Hi, my artists. Welcome to the new year. Today we're going to make our Chinese New Year's dragons. Chinese New Year's is different than our New Year's, but I thought we could all use a little luck in the New Year's, and I know Chinese dragons are known to bring luck, so I thought it would be a lot of fun to make our own Chinese New Year dragon. I hope you enjoyed the story. I hope you did the little dragon dance, and you could also do the dragon dance at the end when your dragon's all finished. We used some foam shapes in my classroom, so if you happen to have foam shapes at home, please feel free to use that. If you don't, all you need today is colorful paper. I used flame colors, warm colors, red, orange, and yellow. You could use any colors you want. If your favorite color is purple, feel free to make a purple dragon. All right, and then you want a piece of black paper for the background because the black will really make the colors stand out. All right, so for the first thing what you want to do is we're going to talk about shapes for this video. And we're gonna make some shapes. Oh, and you need a pair of scissors. Sorry about that. I meant to say scissors. So the first thing you wanna do is you wanna cut your paper into strips. Now parents, if you're with them, you can go ahead and cut the strips for them. I did for my students just so they were ready to go. But the kids can have good practice cutting some strips. Probably 6 or so will be good. There might be extra. We've been using them all day, so I don't know how many each student is using. All right, and then we wanna practice some shapes. So let's think about it. The first thing we want to do is maybe let's do some rectangles. We'll do some skinny rectangles, some bigger rectangles, and just do a couple rectangles. You could do a couple different colors, do some rectangles. Okay. Now I'll try to make a square. The square's going to be a little bit bigger. Remember, square is the same length on all sides. So that looks like a pretty good square. If you don't like a square can be turned into a rectangle. It looks a little big, so I'm gonna make it a little smaller. You want pretty small shapes because we're gonna be building our dragon with our shapes. So you wanna keep them pretty skinny and small. The shapes, you don't want them too big or that'll be your whole dragon. All right, so if you also wanna try a trapezoid, that's a little bit harder shape. But with our strips, a trapezoid is really easy to make. All you have to do is make a diagonal line there, and you could actually keep that for a triangle. If we see there's a triangle, 3 sides, 1, 2, 3, and you do the same thing on the other side. And then you have a trapezoid. This one looks pretty big, but I think I'm gonna use this as the head of my dragon, so I like that. So if you wanna make a trapezoid for your head, you could do that. Trapezoid is too hard, you can go ahead and make a triangle or a square, whatever you want. And then this is a good one. None of my students knew this. I was doing this with kindergarten, first grade, so I didn't expect them to know. But this, my friends, is a parallelogram. A parallelogram has diagonal sides and then straight sides. Or if you hold it like this, there's the diagonal sides and the straight ones. Parallelogram is parallel on both sides. That's why it's called parallelogram. I know that's probably a little much for kindergarten first, but it's always good to introduce more shapes. If you're really good, you can make a hexagon or a octagon, but those are a little bit harder to make. So I'm going to stick with rectangles, triangles, and you could also make wavy shapes if you want a wavy, or if you want a spiky. Yeah, they don't have to be regular shapes. They could be irregular shapes, but you just want a good amount because we're going to build the dragon like a puzzle. And if you keep looking at the size I'm making, you want to keep it about that size. All right, maybe I'll make that one. That's actually a trapezoid too. It's got a flat side. Maybe make a couple more rectangles, a couple more wavies, maybe another trapezoid. Another trapezoid. If you want to make some ears for your dragon, you can do that too. A lot of kiddos like to make a tail for it, so maybe I'll make a tail real quick. Let's see how I want this tail to look. Maybe like that. I gotta remember that's the tail. All right, once you're happy with the shapes you have, you're gonna start building. I think I want some more orange. Sorry guys, let me make a couple more orange ones. Okay. All right, once you're happy with the amount of shapes you have, you can start building your dragon. If you want to pause the video now to make some more shapes, you're more than welcome to do it, or you can watch how I build the dragon and decide what shapes you want. So Chinese New Year's dragons are really skinny, not like the dragons you might have seen like that go to castles and stuff with big wings and they fly everywhere. Chinese New Year's dragon is skinnier. They usually have legs or arms if you want to add that to it, but you don't want to add any wings. We don't want to add any wings. They also look like they almost have like a lion type of face. So if you want to think about that, you're more than welcome to. But you're just going to start building your dragon. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find the head of the dragon. It should be a little bit bigger, of course, but you can make it any shape you want. It doesn't have to be a trapezoid like Miss Elliott's. And then you don't have to do a pattern. You could just add your shapes. And the good thing about this is I don't want you guys to use glue until you build your whole entire dragon. Maybe I'll add orange. Let me see. See, now I'm not really happy because I want to go this way and I can't. So I'm going to have to change my shapes a little. So you could try again. I'm going to take that trapezoid out. All right. And you want to just keep building. If you're not happy with your shapes and you're like, I'm not finding any shapes I like, then start over, make some more shapes. Hopefully you have more paper. You could overlap them too. They don't have to, they could be touching. And you can make your dragon as long as you want. Decide where you want to end it. All right. Now you're to take your glue. You could use liquid glue if you want, or since it's all paper, you can go ahead and use a glue stick and you're gonna glue everything down. So I lifted one, I had the kids, since they already made their dragon, lift one shape up at a time so you don't lose your dragon and have to start all over again. So one piece at a time, you're gonna glue. All right, I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna glue my entire dragon down. If you wanna pause it too, you can as well. Okay, kiddos, my dragon is glued down, so now I'm gonna add a few details. First thing I wanna do is I wanna add some eyeballs. And I'm gonna add a little snout. I'm not gonna add a mouth because I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna add some mean eyes. And sometimes the dragons have like little whiskers. I know it's gonna start looking like a cat. All right, and if you wanna add some ears, you can add some ears. Or not. But the one thing I do want to add is my dragon's going to have fire coming out of it. You don't have to have it coming out, but it looks kind of like a snake, so I like adding the little bit of fire. Now, if you want to make fire, you could just do a lot of lines, just straight vertical lines, or I like to actually make my lines kind of wavy. So I have my orange, red, and yellow put together, and just making some wavy lines going through it. My paper. It's really good that you practice your cutting a lot. All right, wavy lines. All right, and then I have my flames. So then I can take my flames and I can stick it in my dragon's mouth. You could do a tongue, but I would be worried that the tongue might make it look even more like a snake. So you could do some lines there. There we go, another red one. And then I would, of course, glue that down. All right, and the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my crayons and I'm gonna do some fireworks. Because we have black paper, when you do your fireworks, you wanna make sure you choose some lighter colors. So I have some silver. Fireworks are just like explosions. So you just wanna do lines out everywhere. You can do different colors on the same one. Some yellow. All right, because the Chinese New Year, at the end of that story, they were looking up at the sky and they saw some fireworks. I know I did a little bit of fireworks on the 4th of July, some 4th of July on the New Year's. Hold on a second. I wonder if you guys did too. Okay. Maybe some pink. I wonder if pink shows up pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, and there's my Chinese New Year dragon. If you want, you could add like 2021, so we know it's a new year. And of course, every artist should always sign their name. So pick a spot. I'm gonna do it right over this firework and I'm gonna put my name on it. All right, hope you guys enjoyed your Chinese New Year dragon. Make sure you hang it up so it has some good luck for this year. Okay, have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.